Hello, today's video is UK versus US cover ratings, and I've seen a few people online do this. I thought it just looked very interesting, and I thought I would give it a try and see what I think of some covers. This slideshow took surprisingly long to make, but I hope you enjoy it. But this is all my opinion, and please don't be offended by any of my opinions. It's just my opinion. First, we have The Inheritance Games. I have read The Inheritance Games. I've read the whole series, but I haven't read The Gilded Blade. I got that a few days ago, and it is probably going to be my next read. But initially looking, I think that the US pops out more with the green, but I think I would be intrigued by the question marks on the faces of the Inheritance Games characters, but it does confuse me how they all have question marks on their faces, because it is a mystery with a subplot of a love triangle romance. But I am confused why they have question marks, because you know who the characters are straight away. I think it is just to give off the mystery vibe, but I also think the US is a lot better with the fact that these items, like the ballerina and the chess piece and the sword, they sort of come into play in the book. And I can tell who these two characters are, but I'm not entirely sure which out of the three brothers these ones are. I would say this is Xander, but then after that I'm not too sure. But I also think what's interesting is the colour. For some reason we changed the colour scheme. The Hawthorne Legacy is always blue, and then it goes to swaps the red and green round for the Final Goblet and the Inheritance Games. But overall, I am going to give this one to US, because I just think the detail of all the items on every single cover is just more interesting, and I've never even seen the UK one in any shops ever online, really, to buy it anywhere. So US gets a point. Next, UK versus US people we meet on vacation. I also found out that the people we meet on vacation in the UK, on some of the books, it is you and me on vacation, which I also think is interesting, because I did a little bit of a look, and I think they are already friends. So I guess you and me on vacation might make more sense. But because two best friends, even on the cover, I've just realised. So surely you know this person, but I don't know if it fits. So maybe that would be a better title. I think that the UK one pops quite a lot with the vibrant colours, but I feel I do think I like the US more. I don't quite know why, but I think it's interesting. And don't get me started on the fact that I can now not find any in shops. Either I keep finding the UK cover or this stupid movie cover. I love when people make books into movies, because I haven't got this book, I haven't read it, especially when they put this looks like an unremovable sticker on it, and it's just why? So 1 point to US. Next, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I personally think that, I personally don't love people on covers, especially real people. This isn't real people though, but I think it is a war one where they write letters to each other, so I think this cover does make sense. But because I don't like people on covers, I'm initially drawn to the US cover more, and I feel it's very mysterious. I have no idea, they're rivals. It's the color scheme and everything. And no war, no god, no creature, no war can come between them. I'm whoa, what is this book about? So US gets another point here. US is winning. And then we have the Belladonna series by Adeline Grace. I found that she's an American author. I've only ever seen the British covers, really. Not seen the Americans that much. but again, like I said, don't love people on covers. And I feel like that I found there was also 2 different colour palettes for the UK one. I think I prefer the darker colour palette because I do think it is a mystery fantasy with some romance and like tension, but I think it is like a no like spice. But I'm not 100% sure. Again, I have not read these. I think that the UK is better, considering it's also like fantasy. I think I'm like insanely intrigued by the fox and like the colours and everything. I'm just very intrigued by it. And like, is one character going to represent the fox? But I do think the US cover is still pretty good for having like people on it. I think the colours are cool, and I would be like, oh, this is a fantasy. I would hope like a good FMC. So UK gets a point. Next is One of Us is Lying. It's a series, and they've made it, I think it's being made into a Netflix series or is a Netflix series. UK again has 2 different types for this one. I've been seeing this one a lot more. I don't have this book again. Most of these books I do not have or have not read. And then there's also this one, but these also normally have like red sprayed edges. This got the whole series. But then there's also this one that is like, I think they both really give mystery and like thriller. I think it is that they are mystery thriller. But I think it's weird the way that, I know it's like blocking out the faces, but again, real people on the covers. This is something I don't like for some reason. I don't like it that much. And I think UK, wrong side, UK is better on this one. And I would even go to say that the white cover scheme without the sprayed, that, because it's plain sprayed edge as well, like I like a little interesting sprayed edge, so I'm not that fussed by the red one. So I'm going to give it to the white, red and black UK cover. Oh, and this is a little score ranking. So at the moment US has 3 and UK has 2. Can UK win? I'm not sure. Let's go find out. So now we have a very interesting series which I have not read but do want to read. It's Caraval. There is a lot of different covers for this, a lot of different editions, but this is the UK OG edition, and they have now changed it to this because I think I keep seeing this edition now. So they have now changed it. But I think these have stayed the same the whole time. I just do not love these lines on the covers. I don't know if it's bothered me that much, because I think it's like this page underneath. But I haven't got any of those books, but I don't love the way it looks. I think it takes away from the actual cover. But if we're going between the 2 UK covers, I don't actually know, that's a tough one. I think that this one is more, because I know it's like circus, it's more giving circus. But the colours are very different, so I'm not actually 100% sure on that, but I do think that it gives circus more. But that one's like in the same colour palette, and it matches, you see in the second, I think it matches more Once Upon a Broken Heart for the UK. I think it matches with the colour scheme. But overall, I prefer this is also forgot I put that in there. This is also how the edges look for, I think both of these, they have been, I don't know if they're different colours, but stripy, and I don't love stripes. It's not my favourite. I just think I just thought I'd add that in there, but for some reason on the slides. But I think I'm gonna go US, definitely US. I think it just looks very interesting. Next we have Once Upon a Broken Heart. Like I said, look, you can see that this is the new ones, matches, sort of has the same vibe as these ones. I do think these have the similar vibe, but not too sure. Also similar font, actually, the same font, but the US does not have the same font really. Now I'm comparing, but I think that I prefer the original UK covers here. I think they're just actually like really beautiful covers. I do like the UK, the other ones, these ones, the newer ones, but the old ones, I think they just look really, really nice. And I've heard it's like very pink, like Evangeline, I think, is pink, and Jax has his red apples, and I feel like that is just like the vibe, surely. Don't know why they've gone out of print. I know a lot of people like these covers. But then we also have the US, which I think they are interesting, as they've still got the pink and stuff, but I'm not as like drawn into the black background with a small piece on the front. Those pieces, they don't like mean anything. Like, it's just like, I don't know, like leaves or something. I feel like they've got soldiers here, they've got flowers, like wedding almost. I haven't read these, but so yeah, UK definitely gets a point, and the original covers. And then was also gonna say, I'm considering buying these books, but I also wanted to show you these special editions that I think are really nice. These are the Caraval ones, acrylic bookish nook. This is the acrylic picks bookish nook, and you can buy Spectacular separately or with it. But I just love these sprayed edges and the vibe. I just think they're insanely. I think they're very pretty, and I really like them. But I do genuinely like these covers. I just think they're nice covers as well, so I would be happy with either. I just love looking at the special editions as well. And then I was also looking at the special editions for Once Upon a Broken Heart, and like the original covers, heirloom hardcover, they are out of stock. All the special editions are very expensive though. These sprayed edges are amazing. I actually love these sprayed edges more than these ones. I was just also looking at these because these are cheaper. They're from Scholastic, I think that's how you say it, but they're also hardcover sprayed edges, and I think these have a, what do you call it, a dust jacket, and they've got like printed, you can go look at them if you want, they've just got like an apple and like fox, I think, in like pink. Next, that was a sneaky thing that I was going to show you. I love how everyone also seems to be agreeing, well, not everyone, but I've seen a few, bing 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 bing, people all agree that the original, these covers, I've never seen that cover before until I found this image. The US cover and the original UK covers are just are like the better covers, which I was glad to find that I was not the only one who thought that. But if you have an opinion, I'm not saying to change your opinion. Next, we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Also not read this, but I think that both of these covers are very interesting. I think it is like romance and like mystery, but I don't really know anything about this book. But I think it does give, like, I saw something that said it when I was finding these images, Marilyn Monroe, like the blonde and the tan sort of lady. I wonder if it is the same woman in both covers. I would assume it is, but sorry, I just paused there. I think that one looks, this one, the US one, looks more like seductive and like sensual, whereas this one just looks like a woman, is like a woman in a dress, but she's mysterious. I would say they're both mysterious considering you can't see their full face, but the UK one, I'm like, oh, she's mysterious. I'm not like, oh, she's like seductive as much. Also interesting, the UK has pearl necklace and the US does not have a pearl necklace. I don't know if that is anything to do with the story, I just noticed that. I also think the text is different, the different use of text. I do think I prefer the UK font, except from, I don't know if I preferred that bottom bit more to that bit. Now literally comparing fonts, but overall I'm going to give this one to UK. And by the way, with all of these books, I'm not 100% sure if this is just UK cover, US cover. I found this on the internet. If you believe something else, tell me in the comments that they are wrong, if I've given you the wrong UK US covers. Next we have Catabasis, that was probably the completely wrong pronunciation by R.F. Kuang. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I don't know why I bothered to pronounce that. Oh, I didn't know she was the author of Babel, though, that wrote this, because I've seen this book in the shops. I am extremely intrigued by this book. I didn't do much research. I just found the images quite quickly for this. But it looks very interesting. Like, is this man, like, closing 2 doors? This man is running up stairs, or it could be a woman. Oh, a woman or man running, or this person running, and then there's this letters, pages, that's interesting, and then there's a cat or a fox, but it all seems to be like night time, like it's dark, stairs winding up. I'm actually very intrigued by this book now. If you've read it, let me know if it's like what it's about, like the rough age rating. And this one says To Hell with Love. I'm actually very intrigued. And the author of Yellowface. I did not know that Babel, I've heard of Yellowface and Babel, and I know Babel is like a fantasy, like maybe dark academia, I don't know. Yellowface is an adult fiction though, I think. But I'm now very intrigued. But back to the actual point of the video, ranking covers. Now looking at this one more in detail, I think they are both very intriguing, but I just like the look of this UK one, but I have changed my opinion looking at this more a bit. I do like the US one more than I thought, but I have given this to UK, but I don't know if I'm changing my mind. We'll see if I reminisce on that a bit. I just think the UK has like more going, there's a lot going on straight away, whereas that one, now I'm looking at it now, I'm like, well, there is actually a lot going on. There's more to unpack here than I realised. But next, this is Fredrik Backman, Anxious People. If you didn't know this, based on your US cover, I thought that this could be a romance. It is not a romance, it is a mystery. And I feel like the UK cover gives mystery. I also think that it said that Fredrik Backman is a Swedish author, which I did not know. And because I think UK, especially the red and the apartment buildings, it's like, what's going on? It gives mystery. I know literally nothing else about this book though. And this is like a table, and it is like balcony, because a bit as well. But these two people looking away, it's like, are these the anxious people? But then on this cover there's way more people, and is it like about the whole apartment building? I may be having to look into like all of these books way more afterwards. If you like any of these books, or give me like recommendations and tell me a bit about these books without spoilers, because I may be having to purchase some of these with the cover I like. So I would say that overall, I think the US pops quite a lot with the colour scheme of the yellow and the blue, and I think that UK gives more of a mystery vibe, but it seems quite happy. The people, except like these two people seem happy. She does not seem that happy, neither does she, or they, I can't really tell without looking closer. And then this one's just got a cat in the window, and I'm just like, I am more intrigued by that one, whereas I just think this is a romance, but it's not like I wouldn't think, oh, fun romance. It seems like a dark, but obviously it is mystery, like I've said. So UK gets a point for this one. And then, oh, I did not animate the last slide clearly, but the final score is UK 6, US 4, and I found out that I think US would have, wait a sec, US would have had more points if I'd been looking at some more of Emily Henry's covers, because I saw that some of her covers, the UK and the US are all different, and I wasn't sure what one I would like. But if you would like to see me versing more of these, and I can do the rest of Emily Henry's books in another video, comment down below and comment what your opinion was on some of these books. But thank you for watching.